Welcome everyone back to Blockdesk News, our weekly updates where we give you the best news from the blockchain industry. And of course, we talk about SuperDApp and some new tokens which are coming out. Apologies, this is a new stream because the other one didn't work. So hopefully people will find it. Let me just send this over. We are live now, but on a different link. Please follow the YouTube channel. Hey guys, hey man, thanks for joining the new stream. So, a lot of things going on this week, and to be honest, this week is looking like a better week than, well, that we've been seeing for the past month, which really does sound good. Welcome back, 35 Gender. Glad to see you here. So let's start with the main thing, of course, and that is Bitcoin, the thing everyone always asks me to talk about. And Bitcoin has had a crazy ride in the past couple of weeks. It slid sharply over the past 7 to 10 days. At one point, it dropped below 86,000, the lowest since April 2025. So all the gains that you received and everybody else received in the past year, well, poof, they're gone now. The breakdown from October, all-time high around 126,000, has been really dramatic in my opinion. I think it's 30% or so that it actually dropped. So it's a pretty crazy breakdown, and a lot of people are becoming really fairish about the market and saying that the bull market, which never really happened, is over, while institutions are still buying Bitcoin on a daily basis. What's up, guys? Glad to see you're here. Our top fans as well. Welcome, Stells. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Tofun. So much of the weakness in Bitcoin itself is tied to warning momentum, profit taking, and deleveraging among traders, and an overall market risk off mood. So the market is clearly not in a good place when it comes to retail. So once again, OTC deals are happening every day, but it's not affecting the price. But the price is being manipulated, and I hate to see this in crypto. You know, we thought these regulations, which we've been waiting for the past 6 or 7 years, we thought is going to bring, actual actual real investors, well, actually actual investors, and I guess that's what we got. And this is how Wall Street works. If they're able to manipulate the price, and if they're able to basically pump it and dump it and weed us out who don't have these, millions of dollars to invest in blockchain and into Bitcoin, they're going to do that, and they're going to do that continuously. So potentially we're going to see this happen quite a lot, of these higher highs and lower lows. The bull market, the alt market itself, is something that I'm personally really waiting for. So hopefully Bitcoin is really going to depeg itself from the market, and that's where the altcoin market starts. When Bitcoin doesn't really affect the alts. Right now, Bitcoin really drags everything down and people's sentiments. Generally, you're saying alts missed this season, maybe next summer. I'm gonna tend to disagree. Maybe I'm a bit optimistical, to be honest. I think the alt market is yet to come, and I hope it's gonna be utility alt market instead of a meme market, because that's all we've had as a meme market, right? So this utility market is what I'm waiting for, and as I've been saying, in December, it's gonna be pretty hard to see a lot of movement in the market, because people sell their crypto, they go on holidays. It's Christmas, it's whatever holidays you celebrate. That's people are basically selling, and the dominance needs to end, and I agree very much with that. But that being said, towards the end of the week, Bitcoin has staged a modest recovery, so it's climbing up to the 90,000 price mark, and this was written on the 27th. So this is literally a week ago. I am going looking at back through the whole week and the news that's happened since then. So much of the weakness of pairs, like I said, to the momentum and profit taking. But markets, they remain jittery, and the leading option market tracker put the probability of Bitcoin ending 2025 below 90,000 at 50%. So right now, nobody is even sure. Even the leading market, um, experts and trackers, they're really looking at this as a 50-50. And everybody keeps on saying it's going to be 250,000, it's going to be this and that by end of year. That's going to be a lot of volume that needs to enter the market within a month for it to be 250k. Seems really unlikely. But what does this mean for you as an investors? So for Bitcoin holders specifically, and crypto native funds like ETFs and stuff, volatility remains elevated. So it's still volatile. If you believe in your long term, obviously long term you keep on holding. But if you're a weekly trader or monthly trader, which is one of the most dangerous things to do in crypto, then you know I would still say hold. I wouldn't say sell now. I think Bitcoin is still going to go up, even if it's this year, and even if it's not by a lot. So, yeah, moving on a little bit quickly. Yeah, guys, do please leave a like. I do appreciate that. And subscribe always helps. If you're a subscriber, you can chat straight away in our super chats. So Kraken IPO. Let's move on to that. This is a pretty interesting one. Yeah. Let's have a little update of the market. So yeah, as I said, it's at 90,000 at the moment. So right now it's consolidation. There's not really much movement happening, as you can see in the charts. It's really sort of up and down. So let's see what happens next year. In December, sorry. Big news actually. So Kraken, crypto exchange Kraken files for IPO following $800 million raise. Kraken, one of the biggest exchanges. I'm sure everybody knows it, and they're looking at doing an IPO. Sadly, it's not a token raise, or is it gonna be a token raise? I haven't really read too much into it. I think it's gonna be a stock. If anybody knows, do tell me. I'm just reading through it now. I just saw this today, to be honest. I know Gemini, it says prior to President Donald Trump's return to office in January, Coinbase was the only crypto exchange trading publicly on Wall Street. So it does look like it's gonna be an initial public offering, and it's gonna be stocks basically. So no, nothing that's really going to be that interesting for us. When Gemini did their IPO, nothing really changed. I didn't really see the market. What's up, Jamal? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I didn't really see the market change when Gemini did their IPO. Nothing really happened. And have a listen to this. Gemini, rattled by a poor Q3 performance, has since seen a stock decline significantly in September. Wall Street down over 68% to 1170. So everyone who invested in the IPO is basically screwed. So I would say to Wall Street and everybody who invested in this IPO, welcome to crypto. This is what happens in our world, and sometimes you just get screwed. So why does this matter in regards to investors? I always like to add that as a comment. As someone's building a new layer protocol, potentially token launches and publicly listed exchanges. So basically, potentially they're going to have more tokens on the exchange, so it's going to bring more money into the industry. So let's see where this goes. I'm not going to make any sort of rash judgments. Just basically basing it off the Gemini IPO. Nothing really interesting happened. I wanted to give you also a broader crypto market downturn in regards to the wipeout. So of the 2020 to 25 wipeout. So the crypto market has seen a $1 trillion in value raised this month. It's basically because the value of the Bitcoin has dropped, or the value of all the tokens has dropped that much. It doesn't mean that the money is gone. It's just the value is gone, and crypto will go back up, so that will be back. So according to a new recent report, the total crypto market capitalization has plunged over $1 trillion since early October 2025. Massive, yeah, exactly. This slump erases most of the gains crypto market had accumulated this year, which sucks really. And this is, like I said, it's manipulation at its finest form. It's weeding out these people who are retail people. And when I say retail, this can be from $10 to $100,000. Well, maybe 50,000. I think 100,000 is a little bit beyond retail. So what's going to happen is all these people are going to lose their money. Then they're going to pump the market back up, and it's most likely going to happen in two stages. The stimulus checks that Trump is going to provide. Last time he did it, the crypto market literally made $1 trillion. $1 trillion entered into the market, and also the half terms. So I think he's gonna manipulate the market until then, and then pump it on the half terms. Apologies, I'm not American. If I'm saying this wrong, do correct me. So on the half terms, and then he's going to give out the stimulus checks. People are going to obviously invest into the economy, or maybe even buy Bitcoin, which is what a lot of people did last time. So we are most likely going to see a big surge next year, and historically speaking, it shouldn't be happening. But who knows, with this current world and the way the crypto market is, it's looking very likely. So for whales and VCs or protocol builders like Blockdesk, which is my company, environment could be double-edged sword. Cheaper valuations and discount buys versus higher risk. So yes, everything is discounted, but there are higher risks. In my opinion, right now is the bottom. This is what I think, because if you see a massive dump and then you go back, and obviously I'm not going to go deep into the charts, but you can see a clear consolidation with every top 100 token. Every top 100 token is consolidating except meme core, which has, well, it looks like it just died yesterday. But look at the consolidation in all of these tokens. All of them consolidating. This shows to me it's a bottom. So unless somebody pushes it down again, then this probably is a good time to invest, in my opinion. Let's move a little bit about institutions, and I want to discuss institutions because I think it is important, because they're putting a lot of pressure and liquidity risk, and basically the sentiment over fundamentals is changing. So some analysts believe that the side effects, not just retail panic, but institutions deleveraging, profit taking, broader microeconomic risk aversion. This basically means crypto is being treated more like a high risk volatility asset rather than digital gold safe haven. So this is what is basically is happening and manipulating the market, and we hate to see this. And unfortunately, this regulation has brought in these institutions who are, they have so much money, and in stocks it's hard to manipulate because the market caps are so big. They deal in pips, and they make 1% a day or whatever. In crypto, we're used to making 10%, and that's what they're doing right now, right in front of our faces. So liquidity itself in the whole market remains really fragile. Long-term holders are reluctant to sell further. Obviously, if you've been holding for a long time, you're going to carry on holding. What's up, Nazar? Good to see you as always. New buyers are cautious, so not a lot of new buyers coming in, not a lot of new liquidity. New buyers usually come in when the price is going up and flying. They don't buy at the bottom, which is what's happening now. So this is the time you should be buying if you're in the industry for a while. And future options markets show elevated put skew, basically hanging against further downside. According to one view, the entire market is suffering from what some call the Tinkerbell effect. So the price depends heavily on belief, not on the stable fundamental and confidence waivers that could basically trigger deeper weakness. So takeaway for all of you about the information I just provided, as anybody who's been in crypto for 7+ years, building new ventures, this kind of environment rewards clarity, strong fundamentals, like layer ones, and obviously long-lasting projects, for example, like Syscoin and Arbitrum, etc. And discipline messaging. So it's a chance to differ serious projects. Basically, it's a good time for you to diversify and then look at the top, I would say, the top 50 projects, the top 100 projects, diversifying them who've been around for a while. They're surely to go up, and then when the old season hopefully starts next year, you'll be able to sell those top 100 and start taking some bigger risks right now into new startups are going to be pretty dangerous. I would say that. So all these meme projects, as you can see, they're dying, within seconds. Um, so what does this mean for the Web3 projects and market outlook? The fact that exchanges like Kraken are doing a public signals and potential shift in how crypto infrastructure is financed, moving from private rounds, venture capital to public equity market. So as many of you know, I own my own VC firm called Blockdesk Ventures, and in 2017, I and my community, we were able to make millions together. I took some people out of really bad lives, and I helped them invest into some projects, and we did 500x's, we did 100x's, and we never charged anyone a penny. And now I can't do that. I can't help people anymore like this. So it really sucks because venture capitalism is practically non-existent at the moment. And if you're a VC and you're investing into startups, you're basically losing. All the IPOs, all the ICOs, all the initial, all these early token rounds, you're just getting screwed, and then you're getting vested, and you're getting vested right into the bear market. So this is why there's no real funding for projects, and that's why everybody is launching trash that we already seen in 2017. I'm tired of seeing these projects which are just meme coins with no actual development. And as you can see, for us in SuperDApp, what we're doing with SuperDApp is we're developing, but it's hard to find money to develop, and it's expensive to do so. And even though we're sticking to that development every day, it's not an easy job, and many people prefer not to do that. But with more macro stress, like going back to what I was saying, with more macro stress, weak liquidity and risk aversion, funding token sale strategies, as I mentioned, including the new layer ones, may need to be more conservative. So holders and investors may prefer proven value, stable roadmaps, and utility over hype. So this is what I mean. Slowly but surely, you're going to see that the market is going to move into this utility focus. And that is what I call the real alt season. The sort of memes pumping, that's not an altcoin season. That is not it at all. So for the next few months, we will see a lot of volatility, especially in December, as always, if macro conditions and interest rates and global risk sentiments improve. Risk assets like crypto might see renewal flow. Otherwise, expect continued consolidation or sideways action. I think Fed rate cuts are supposed to happen in December. They did cut like 0.25%, which basically did absolutely fuck all. But hopefully we're going to see a bigger cut, like a 1%, 2%. And I know that the current head who does the rate cuts is being fired, and there's a new person coming in. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Definitely something to look out for. And for builders, finally, it's probably a good time to double down on fundamentals. So the core, the technology, the community, transparency, rather than chasing speculative gains. And that obviously brings me into SuperDApp. I think this is a perfect time to discuss SuperDApp. And this is what I'm saying about us focusing on fundamentals, us developing things which you guys are going to find useful, and things which you've been asking for a long, long time. And this is one of those things. Here is a sneak peek of the SuperDApp Fast Bridge. Yes, SuperDApp is moving the Super token into other chains. This is a major step forward, making Super a multi-chain asset. So now people don't have to specifically use Rolux. They'll be able to use ZK-SYS. They'll be able to use the base net, and potentially we're going to go into Binance chain. If anyone thinks of any other chains that you want to be on, just let me know, and we can obviously focus on those too. But initially, we are going to be moving on to base, and hopefully we're going to be able to target the base community. We already have a plan to find liquidity via a project called Aerodrome. They're going to help us find that liquidity to move on. So we're going to be a pretty liquid token that you're going to be able to buy and sell, of course. So this is, I'm sure, really good news for all of you. So over the past few weeks, our development engineer team have been building an important upgrade that will significantly expand the reach and utility of Super. While it is still active in development, we are ready to give the community our first look at what is coming next. So as you can see by this picture, this will be the bridge, and you'll be able to use it within Super Dap itself. You sell Paul, Base, and BNB. I really agree with BNB. I know the reason we chosen base, just so all of you know, is because we found Aerodrome, and they're going to be able to really help us with the liquidity side, and that is sort of the reason we chose base as the first chain. Binance will most likely 99% be the second. I'm not sure about Paul. I think the TVL is pretty low. If we have a look now, let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know about, Polygon really. I'll be honest with you. If you got any like reasons why you chose that, feel free to let me know. It's not something I even thought about. I'm not sure how live their community is. I worked with Matic when it was previously Matic before, and I know their management team was a little bit, a little bit of a mess, I would say. Maybe things have changed now, but yeah, something to consider. Hey, we're always open to everything. Why does Polygon want to return to the Matic ticker? I still can't understand. I don't think they do actually, mate. I think it just says previously Matic, but now it's Polygon. I don't know why they changed it. I think a lot of these companies they just want this sort of simplistic look, and changing it will sort of bring in new investors, I guess, in their eyes. It will seem like a brand new chain, because for people just entering the market, or people who might not even notice the change, they'll be like, "Oh wait, look, this chain is only 92 million. It's a layer two. It's got all of this." They kicked everyone out. Yeah, they did, mate. I'm telling you, it's like a one-man team at the moment. Well, I'm over exaggerating, but oh, is only, yeah. Well, there we go. So yeah. It is what it is. So maybe not the best option, but something to consider. So let me just give you a little bit of an overview very quickly what SuperDApp Fast Bridge is. The SuperDApp Fast Bridge is a custom cross-chain bridge system designed exclusively for Super. It connects three key networks to our ecosystem. Rolex Layer 2, the home of super groups and SuperDApp high-speed experience. Base, one of the fastest growing ecosystems, obviously supported by Coinbase. And NEVM says Coin Layer 1, the settlement layer for Rolex, obviously, where the lot of, the liquidity is. So rather than relying on external bridge providers, the entire system is operated by the SuperDApp team. So we run the validators, relayers, watches the settlement logic ourselves. This gives us full sovereignty over security updates, rate limits, risk control, inventory management, and UX platform and level integration. So this is an extra feature that's going to be added into SuperDApp, which is going to be really good when we start launching our own tokens. Everybody knows, we are working on our own AI agent that's going to allow you to launch tokens. So this bridge is going to be a great way to move your tokens around into other chains. Why we're building this? Super today exists on an EVM on Rolex, but not on Base or other major EVM chains. And this is obviously a limit, and I know a lot of you have been discussing this. We're really limited by Rolex itself, and we listen to all of you, and we want to change that. So that's exactly what we're doing. So we're expanding, from Super to Base as soon as BNB chain and additionally VM chains, as I mentioned, making Super dramatically easier to acquire and move, and opening it to larger markets, reducing onboarding frictions, as I mentioned. So this is the current update. This is pretty big. It is going to take some time, and please do appreciate that. Even though the team is saying in December, I don't think so. Potentially, it's going to be in next year, but December is going to be a wild ride either way. So I will be back next week, Thursday, discussing the market once again, giving you the best updates, telling you about some, maybe potentially some new tokens. The market hasn't been good enough for me to tell you about these tokens, or some tokens that I'm investing in myself. But hopefully, I'll have some updates for you then. Everybody who's joined, I'm sending lots of love from Blockdesk News. I'm sending love from the Super DAP team, and I'm going to see you next week for the latest news and Super DAP updates. All the best, guys. Bye bye. It's Edward, your favorite host. All the best. Bye bye.